Hello and welcome to the third video in the Jumpstart Your Purpose series. Today we're going to talk about how to find your soul tribe so that you feel like you are supported in your purpose, so that you don't feel like the odd one out or you have to come out of the spiritual closet or the purpose closet, that you really feel supported by your peer group. I'm Mastin Kip. It's nice to meet you. If we haven't met before, it's nice to meet you for the first time. If we have met before, it's nice to see you again. Very excited to be with you today. So I want to start with this quote from the great Jim Rohn. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I want you to think about the people you spend the most time with and think about that's how far you're going to go. That's how far you're going to go in your life. Now, this isn't to judge them or to make them wrong, but if you're really wanting to jumpstart your purpose, we really got to look at who are you spending time with. There are consequences of not having a supportive tribe. First, you put your dreams on the back burner. If you're around people who are not supportive, if you're around people who are not pushing you forward, if you're around people who are playing at a different level, you put your dreams on the back burner because it's just normal. It's like, you don't want to have forward momentum. Very difficult to have that when you're around people who are just stuck and stagnated. Again, not judging them, but really getting clear on who you want to be and where you want to go. And also, you never really find out who you are because you're living by the rules of your tribe. So it's very important to understand that if you want to live your purpose, you gotta have a soul tribe that lifts you up, because inspiration is caught, not taught. When you're around people who are motivated, who are moving forward, it's a different energy than when you're around people who are stuck and stagnated, justifying why they're stuck, versus people who are crushing it and moving forward. And you never really find out who you are because you abide by the rules of your tribe. This is just how it goes. Also, you end up taking bad advice from people who have no experience in the area of your dreams. So you can love somebody and recognize that maybe they're not the right person to go to for business advice. Your dad might be the most amazing person in the world, but if he's never started a business, probably not the best guy to go to for business advice. Or don't take relationship advice from your bitter single friends, right? You want to take advice from people who have been there. The people around you in your life who you love and who are not a part of this soul tribe, who are, your friends and family who you love but aren't really on that same wavelength, they can encourage you and you can ask for encouragement, but not advice. You want advice from people who have been there, because as Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. Also, you live daily in self-doubt, because if you're around people who don't support you, your dreams are probably not just started yet. There's not a lot of evidence that your dreams are real, and so you doubt that they're real. You don't believe in yourself, and so it's important to understand that if you're living in self-doubt, it's probably because you're not surrounded by people who support you. Also, feeling like the odd one out. So this is like the Harry Potter syndrome. This is the Black Swan syndrome. This is like, I feel like an alien. I have to come out of the spiritual closet. No one around me really understands meditation or prayer or going to the next level or wanting to earn more money or starting my own business or being super healthy or whatever it might be. I feel like I'm an alien here if you don't have a supportive tribe. Also, feeling like you have to tone it down or change yourself to make other people happy. It's okay to be happy. You can be happy for no darn reason at all. And if other people are telling you to tone it down, then we want to really look at, are they accepting who you really are? Because you don't necessarily have to tone it down or change yourself to make other people happy. You want to tone it up and be yourself to make yourself happy, and then surround yourself with people who support that version of you. And then also, you sabotage your purpose. If you're around a bunch of people who are not living their purpose, very high chance that you will not be living your purpose either, because you will become the average of the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. So if you want to live your purpose, you got to surround yourself with people who support you. So here's how to create a soul tribe. First, you want to start by breaking up with people who bring you down or don't support who you really are. This can be difficult, but it's necessary. You want to ask yourself this question: does this relationship bring me energy or drain my energy? Does this relationship bring me energy or drain my energy? If the relationship drains your energy, renegotiate it or get the heck out of there. Time is precious. Also, you want to be lovingly bold about who you are and have the courage to be your true self. So you can't find a soul tribe if you're not being yourself. A lot of times people will say, well, Mastin, nobody sees me. And I'm like, okay, but are you showing your real self to the world? And the answer is inevitably no. That's not what's really going on here. So it's important to understand that you got to be bold about who you are. You got to be bold about what you want to have and be and do and give. So that might mean being quirky or being weird and risking it, but it is worth it because this is who you really are. And when you put your real self out into the world, all of a sudden, other people who are like you will start to say, hey, I know that person. I know that vibe. That's the type of person I am. And when you put your real self out into the world, people who resonate with that will start to respond. Now, What will happen is if you set boundaries and you start to become your real self, this will create a vacuum, meaning space. And it can be scary to have space because space feels like death. Oh my God, I'm going to be all alone. But the truth is, the universe loves to fill vacuums. The universe abhors vacuums and loves to fill vacuums. So when you set boundaries and you say, this is who I really am, then you give an opportunity for new people to come in. So in order to have new people and have a soul tribe, you got to create that space from the old tribe, which is fine, but don't fear the vacuum. And then also that trust that as you become and show more of who you are, that you will find people who see this new you. So sometimes when you go on this personal development path, people who've known you for years say, "Oh, I know who you really are. You're not this spiritual person. You're old you," right? And it might be true that that part of you is still there, but you're developing and growing into this new part of you. And so you want to meet people who can see the new you and encourage that part of you forward. And then also you want to let new and supportive people in when you find them. So if you've been in relationships that haven't supported your purpose, then sometimes it can be scary to let people in because you don't trust them. Well, as you step into this new version of yourself and you meet people who are like-minded, don't just close your heart down completely. Let them earn it, but let people in so that they can support you. One of the reasons you might be stuck is you're really good at giving support and you kind of suck at receiving support. So very important to be able to receive support. And then also know that there are people who will support your purpose. So it might seem impossible, like everyone around you is a naysayer, but that's not everybody in the whole world. There are billions of people in the world, and there are a lot of people who are seeking purpose, seeking to start businesses, seeking to get better health, seeking to better their lives, to find more money and do it in ways that is right livelihood, that makes impact and serves other people. There are people out there who will support your purpose. So make sure to just know that and fake it until you make it. So most importantly, surround yourself with people who uplift you and inspire you to live your purpose. I cannot tell you how important this is. You will become the average of the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. So spend time with people who support you. Model success and find mentors who are further down the road than you are. So what this means is that if there's something you want to go for, you want to become a business owner, start a business, be a coach, you want to write a book, whatever it might be, whatever the thing is that you want to do, there are already people out there who have successfully done that. Find mentors and then model them. So modeling just means learn what they did, learn their best practices, and then start to cultivate those best practices in your life. And as again, Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. You can model their success and produce the same results. And that's really exciting. And then also don't judge people from your old tribe. This is super important. You are not better than them, just on a different path. Bless them and move along. A lot of times what happens is when you get on this new path, all of a sudden maybe you're reading my book or Gabby's book or Wayne Dyer's book or Deepak's book or Marianne Williamson's book or whoever's book, Brene Brown, whatever it might be. And then you think, well, I'm spiritual and these people aren't spiritual. That is such an unspiritual thing to do. It's not loving. Right? People don't need to know who I am or who Wayne Dyer is to be spiritual. Spirituality is a level of how loving you are. That's really what spirituality is. But don't judge people and say, well, you're unspiritual. Right? That's not really healthy or loving, because it's important to understand that if you're growing, other people need love, but you also have to surround yourself with people who support you. So very, very important. Okay, so next steps: break up with anyone who's bringing you down. Very, very important to jumpstart your purpose. Be lovingly and boldly yourself. So put your real self out there so that the world can see your real self, and then get excited about the vacuum and the space that this is going to create. It will create some space. Don't fear it. Get excited about it, and then let new people in when you find them. If you've shut people out because they didn't support you, that pattern can be self-protection, but also can hold you back from really having that support tribe if you push people away. And then be intentional about living your purpose and finding a mentor. So if you're asking yourself, what's my purpose? You got to find a mentor. This is what I teach. I'm the purpose guy. I love teaching people how to find their purpose, so I would love to work with you. But beyond that, if there's anyone else who you think could be a great mentor for you to find and live your purpose, do be very intentional about that, because we are out there. Now, leave a comment below this video about what your new commitments are. Who are you going to let go of? How are you going to lovingly and boldly be yourself? How are you going to be excited about the vacuum? What are you going to do to let new people in? And how are you going to be intentional about living your purpose and finding a mentor? Below this video, leave a comment. You can meet me over at massandkip.com for more inspiration. Thank you so much. Let's find your soul tribe. Remember to get out there, take action, and make it real. We'll see you soon.